Welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world right now. It is the Sigma Prepper Show, the live show for preppers with your host, Andy, Sigma Prepper. Thank you very much for joining me today, Thursday. We go live at 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, and 8 a.m. in Australia, in Sydney. So, welcome. Thank you everybody for being here already. This is just a small section of what we've got coming up tonight. There is actually Howls and Growls to add on to that list, which I will get around to doing for next week. So thank you for joining me. We're in the welcome and intro right now, so let's have a look and see who we've got with us today on the 22nd of September. Only 2 days to go until what? Until the 24th. So yeah, thank you everyone for being with me. Really appreciate it. And Daily Survival in the house. Great to see you. Extreme Focus. Lovely to see you, my man. And Connie Riches as well. She's here with us. Sorry. What I need to be doing is this isn't the first time, but yeah, sorry. We'll just be. I just got to do so we can see the chat, because we can't see the chat at the moment, so don't worry, we'll get that set up. So yes, we've got Connie Wurst, thank you for being with us, my lovely, and Noelle Marie as well is with us today. So good to see you, Noelle Marie. Thank you for sending in your we've had quite a few people actually send in their preparedness bits and pieces on for Preppers Progress, which we'll be having coming up a little bit later on. So yes, we've got the chat working again, so that's all right. There we go, Noelle Marie. Urban Harvesting in the house. Don't forget, Urban Harvesting was the winner of the Sigma Prepper quiz, with the week number 1 getting 5 out of 7. Last week was 6 out of 7. So the question is, can Urban Harvesting achieve the ultimate win of 7 out of 7 tonight? We'll see. We've got that coming up, obviously, after the Sigma Mindset Quotes. And thank you so very much to Daily Survival, Extreme Focus, Sandy, Perps, Magic Hand for sending in your quotes this week. I really appreciate it. Quotes at sigmaprepper.com. If you'd like to join in the fun, you can do that. So, and we've got also the Preppers Progress, so people send in their progress of their prepping. So, wow, Debbie Sermon in the house as well. She's got some great news, and she's got herself a new job working in the vets. And she was working at a gas station, dealing with the most annoyingest of people on the planet, and customer facing, and now she's going to be dealing with nice, fluffy, cute animals instead. So I hope you don't, I hope they don't miss you too badly at the gas station, my darling. But absolutely well done, my darling Debbie. Great to have you with us tonight, and really pleased to hear the news about your new job. And I hope you get great levels of happiness from it. Hey, Eva, great to see you. Eva was first in the chat last week. This week it was actually Carolyn Rose, all the way from Australia, who was first in the chat with us tonight. So it was great to have you with us first up. So well done. Great to see you all. So thank you so much for being with us. So what should we get into first then? Well, it's got to be the Sigma Mindset Quotes, isn't it? And but one thing before we do that is I did just want to sort of bring up some of the bits and pieces, because for those that missed it, and it is linked in the description below, so if you haven't seen it, do make sure you watch it after this show has finished. You can go before if you want, but I strongly recommend you don't. But yesterday was the premiere pre-launch of the Prepping 2022, which is the new Wednesday weekly unmissable SHTF Survival Scenario series, where we're going to be looking at different topics each week, and we're going to get right into the details and the depth of. So the first one next week is Wednesday, going live at 6 p.m. Eastern time, 11 p.m. UK time, and that will be the advanced principles of prepping. Advanced Principles of Prepping. So if you go and check the link in the description after the show, the link is there for the Prepping 2022 series. It went live last night for the first time. Thank you to those that joined me. It was lovely. And thank you to those that have watched it already and those that were there. It was great to have that. So basically what it is, we're going to be doing Advanced Principles of Prepping will be the title, and I showed you a couple of slides as a pre-launch yesterday, about 7 slides out of 40. The first one's going to be quite epic, and then we're going to be moving on from there. We'll have various options, and the situation report, we're going to be dealing with a complete grid down scenario, and everything's gone basically. That's how we're going to be preparing, and then we'll be looking at that week by week and comparing 1 week to 1 month, 6 months and 1 year of preps and what that looks like. So don't miss that, because that's going to be absolutely awesome. And it's absolutely ram-packed. It's going to take me a long time to put our show together. And we're going to be doing a different show every week on the Wednesday. So definitely don't miss that. As well as the Thursday night here on the Sigma Prepper for the Sigma Prepper live show. The live show for preppers every Thursday. And don't forget, we also have on the Mondays, we have usually coming out on a Monday morning, we have the SHTF Intel Global Analysis Report from our very own Tia, our tactical intelligence assistant, our in-house artificial intelligence. So she'll be doing her reports usually on a Monday morning. So look out for that as well. And of course, there is the often the SHTF Intel from tonight will be cut out and popped onto the each episode as well. And for your convenience, it's just a more of a shareable video. And of course, look out for the SHTF Intel live broadcasts as they happen, for things happening around the world as they happen. So all the reasons in the world to make sure you're subscribed and to stay subscribed. But thank you so very much to those that are. We are absolutely tanking along with the channel. We're way over the 100 subscriber mark. Dizzying heights, dizzying heights. So thank you so much. It's been lovely to grow with you, and for you to join me in this journey for the limited time we've got to prepare until all hell breaks loose on the planet. And so yeah, we'll be getting into the quotes right up. But first of all, before we go anywhere, of course, one of the things we need to do is to make sure that we thank our absolute wonderful VIPs and to give them an opportunity to be thanked by you. Yes, indeed. For those that don't know, any new here, I'm 100% independent. I'm not owned by anything or anyone. No sponsors, no adverts, no monetization, no networks or anything, no external funding, no rich parents or anything. So if you would like to help, that's all very good, because some of the people are already, and it's really what's keeping me going. So thank you so very much. It's a new channel. I've already been kicked off everything else, so yeah, thank you very much. Streamlabs.com/Sigma Prepper tonight is how we do the super chats, and you can do your message and you'll get tinkle up here, and your message can be seen by 850 billion people around the galaxy, which is all good in the hood. So thank you very much. And of course, Patreon is a great way to support the channel as well. Behind the scenes videos, Discord, VIPs, chat sessions, one-to-one consultancy sessions, you name it, plus free gifts. And I tell you what, these people need to be thanked big time. Thank you for being my VIPs on Patreon. Thank you for supporting me. I couldn't do it without you. So everyone else watching should be thanking them too. So thank you so very much for keeping me rocking. Couldn't do it without you. And again, all links in the description, sigmaprepper.com/donate, or just jump straight in at patreon.com/sigmaprepper, and you can support me in various ways there. So thank you so very much. As little as 20 cents a day is what you can keep me online for. So thank you very much to everyone who has. Lovely. Cheers, my beauties. God, what a week it has been, eh? It is all hitting the fan so very rapidly, as I'm sure you'll agree. So we'll see what's going on in the SHTF Intel report coming up straight after Sigma Mindset Quotes, which is next. So let's just do it, Andy. Let's get into the quotes, shall we? Let's Sigma Mindset Quotes. Thank you for sending them in. Let's do it. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. Who was it? Perps, was it? Like in the fairy forest background. It's Debbie, was it? My darling Debbie. Yeah, the fairy forest background. It's actually the magic forest, I like to call it, right? So we had the camper van on the beach. Last week we had the what did we have last week? Oh, the picnic blanket in the countryside near the stream. And then this week we've got the magic forest. I hope you're liking our locations so far for the Sigma Prepper live show. Now, so Sigma Mindset, this is all about the preparedness of mind. This is all about being a Sigma, which is, you know, being self-reliant, independent, you know, not trying to lead the world like an alpha perhaps would, and, you know, not wanting to be following everyone else's rules like a beta and things like this, right? So Sigma personality types. I'm a born Sigma, you know, everything you see on this show, all the music productions, everything is done by me from scratch. And so that's a classic example of a Sigma personality, right? And again, they tend to be operate very successfully independently from the herd, hence the lone wolf connotations, right? Hence, old Sigma here. So yes, that's the score. So thank you so much for sending in your quotes. This is where you get to send in your favorite quotes to the show. Quotes at sigmaprepper.com, quotes at sigmaprepper.com, and you can join in. So we've had quotes from 5 people this week. So we've got 5 separate quotes. Let's start off with the first one then from one of our ultra VIPs on Patreon. Thank you, Extreme Focus, for your support. And he sent this one in. All truth passes through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed, then it is violently opposed, finally, it is accepted as self-evident. So yes, Arthur Schopenhauer. Oh, look at that. Perps, my darling, thank you so very much, Purple. Get the howls out. She's getting the howls going. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your support. And and by the way, Purple. But we'll talk about that later on the Howls and Growls and obviously on the other thing, if you know what I mean. So thank you so very much for your support. And in fact, isn't there a quote from you, my darling? I know you've sent some awesome quotes this week, Perp. So thank you so much for your support and for sending in your quotes. So that's a great one from Extreme Focus. Let's hear it in the chat. And let's have a look. See what we've got going on. Totally spaced. Still tell you what, we're getting to the times. Oh, Danger Bob in the house, is it? Is everyone needing to be kneeling before thou art Danger Bob? Great to see you, my man. Great to see you. And Eva in there. Will trigger surviving the violent opposition part? Yep, definitely. So, next one up then is from Daily Survival. Thank you, Daily Survival. Also one of our VIPs. Don't forget, you don't have to be a Patreon VIP to send in some quotes if you'd like to, or even just leave it in the comments below if you're watching this after. You can leave your quotes in the comment section below. If I like it, I'll pin it to the top and everyone else can see it as well. So, it's not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. Absolute classic one there. Thank you, Daily Survival. It's a brilliant one. Classically Sigma as well, right? It's not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. Absolutely. I think adaptability is a great asset. And funny enough, I spoke about this last night in the Prepping 2022 series with the SHTF Scenario show. And I was talking about how, putting yourself out of your comfort zone as regularly as possible is a great way of doing that, right? The more out of your comfort zone you can get yourself, the more you're forcing yourself to adapt, and that's your body physiologically as well as mentally as well, and to break past your sort of and broaden your horizons, expand your confidence in your own physical self as well as your own sort of mental being and what you can achieve and things like this, right? So that's what a Sigma mindset is all about, self-development and things like that. So perfect one. Thank you, Daily Survival. So Perps, here she is, absolute darl. Thank you, my darling. We've just seen a streamlabs.com/Sigma Prepper super chat, because obviously the channel's too new to be monetized, but that doesn't stop us now, does it? No, Perps. Thank you, my darling. Freedom means you are unobstructed in living your life as you choose. Anything less is a form of slavery. Oh, absolutely brilliant. Wayne Dyer. Thank you, Perps, for this one. Brilliant. Again, one of our VIPs. Thank you so much for supporting me. Freedom means you are unobstructed in living your life as you choose. Anything less is a form of slavery, isn't it just? It's bridging on, don't know. Anyway, but thank you very much, Perps. And Perps sent in a few as well, so we'll be spreading them out each week. So we'll get a couple from each person as we go. So Sandy as well, another one of our VIPs. Thank you, my darling. And Hope has 2 beautiful daughters. Their names are Anger and Courage. Anger at the way things are, and courage to see that they do not remain the way they are. Augustine of Hippo. That's an unusual name, isn't it? Augustine of Hippo. So, interesting one. Thank you, Sandy. Hope has 2 beautiful daughters. Their names are Anger and Courage. Anger at the way things are, and courage to see that they do not remain the way they are. That's pretty powerful stuff, isn't it? Because I tell you what, a lot of people have got a lot of reasons to have a lot of anger about what's going on in the world right now. And of course, it does require a lot of courage to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel and to see the hope in trying to even change it, right? And to try and make it a better place as much as we can when we're up against so much resistance, right? And the opposing resistance is very not good, right? basically. What can I say? So finally, magic hand, Mrs. Sigma. Mrs. Sigma, thank you, my darling. This is a classic one from her. Do what you can with what you have where you are. Theodore Roosevelt, absolutely brilliant. Do what you can with what you have where you are. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, magic hand. Absolutely, totally and utterly identify with that one. And again, yes, it's all part of being a Sigma as well, isn't it? It's all about, you know, just being self-reliant and, you know, picking yourself up, look around you. What are you good at? What do you have around you? What friends do you have that may be able to help you? And so on. What family members may be able to offer some guidance in a certain area that they're specialist in. There's lots of things that you can do with what you have, wherever you are, right? So thank you, Magic Hand. Great message. And so Carolyn Rose, she made it because she was in the chat before we even went live, before she even went to bed. So I think I worked out she would have had about 4 or 5 hours sleep, my darling. So I hope you're feeling all right, Carolyn. And where's the quote from you, Carolyn Rose? I don't remember seeing in the quotes at sigmaprepper.com. I don't remember seeing a quote from you. How very dare you? Oh, great to see you. Thank you, everyone. And so let's have a look. What's next? And that's the last one from Magic Hand, isn't it? So yes, that's the 5th and final. And so Sigma Mindset Quotes. Please, 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 if you've got some great quotes that you like, please do send them, especially if they're Sigma-fied, especially if they're Prepper-fied or Survival-fied. That's all good stuff. So please send them in to quotes at sigmaprepper.com. Links are in the description. Email addresses are in the description as well of this video. So for your convenience, you can just tap and off you pop, right? And so absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for those that sent in their quotes this week. So Daily Survival, Extreme Focus, Sandy, Perps, and Mrs. Sigma Magic Hand. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. So let's get back to base camp, shall we? And we'll see what we got coming up next. It's the SHTF Intel next, isn't it? So getting gnarly. Let's do it. Back to base camp. I'll see you there. Magic Forest. Welcome back to the Magic Forest with yours truly, the Sigma Prepper. So yeah, just seeing what's going on in the sneaky chat there, and no, you're absolutely. I've got all sorts of things going on in the background as well, which is lovely. So that's cool. So thank you so much for your support, everyone. It's been really cool. I've had a great week this week. Last night's show was lovely, and the analysis report on Monday went down really well as well. So I really appreciate everybody that's helped that to do so well. And so far, so good. And yes, if you haven't done already, please go and check out the Sigma Prepper website. This is what it will look like, sigmaprepper.com. When it hits the fan, don't end up around a campfire eating squirrels on sticks. Get prepared. With a growing number of modern day threats, if you're not prepared, then squirrels on sticks will be your only hope. So yes, go and check it out. And of course, we've got this SHTF Intel report that's accessible to you 24/7, free of charge. Get yourself over there. Want to see the #1 SHTF threat? Get yourself over there. SigmaPrepper.com. And of course, all the latest posts in there as well, along with links to the Discord community so you can join us in there. Loads of information. And so do make sure you get yourself to SigmaPrepper.com. And of course, whoosh, ways to help as well. So thank you so much for those that have. So before we get into the SHTF Intel, which is coming up nexty poos, let's have a look. Yes, we have done the Sigma Mindset Quotes, and we are about to do the SHTF Intel report. So thank you everyone for being here with us. Don't forget, I've got some pretty hardcore videos coming out, actually. I'm really keen to tell you some of the stuff that's coming out. So what I'm tempted to do over the next sort of like 10 days, 7 days, is do a video listing all the videos that I need to do, right? And I've got things I've got to do reviews on, I've got things I need to do teardowns on. But the first thing I've got to do, because things are starting to really get gnarly, right? So I'm starting to feel like I need to desperately clean the solar panels for the off-grid solar system. I've got some empty water containers that definitely need filling up. So there's a lot of reason. Oh, and I was messing around with a firmware on one of my ham radios and I completely scrubbed the entire memory. So I'm going to have to enter in all 20 of my channel numbers into my Baofeng ham radio as well. So all these things are important stuff. So I'm going to actually be videoing these and sharing these things with you as part of the videos as well. I might even start doing that as part of a TikTok. So if you do anything on TikTok, I think links in the description for that as well. If not, they are on the website for my TikTok account. I'm going to start growing that. And it turns out I was planning to do live streaming on TikTok as well. And it turns out I can't do that until I've made got a certain number of followers. So it's like, okay, here we go again then. So we're going to start towards that goal. And then what we'll be able to do is to stream live on TikTok at the same time as YouTube for this show and other shows as we live stream. So that's the plan. So stay tuned for that one. So should we get into it then with the SHTF Intel and we see what's been hitting the fan? Because I tell you what, it's all going there and we won't spend too much time in it, but we got to see what's going on. SHTF Intel. Welcome to the SHTF Intel report for the 22nd, going on the 23rd of September 2022. So here we are then, SHTF Intel. We'll have a quick look down this list and we'll see what's going on. We'll be checking in with the global analysis report from TIA for the 22nd of September. And we'll have a look at the disaster news and have a look at a quick look at the headlines and just see what the main things. Most of you know what's going on, and it's a bit tricky to get into it in too much detail, but we do what we can. And of course, we'll have a look at the usual bits and pieces with the disaster maps and the solar flares and earthquakes and so on, right? And then we'll finish up in the chat and see if there's anything going on near you. Let us know in the chat right now if you've had any news coming your way, any prepper news or SHTF type. Intel type stuff. So Debbie there saying need to program her Baofeng too. So I think that's a good idea we do that together because like I said, I scrubbed my memory of my ham radio. So I thought when I'm going to reprogram my 20 channels and frequencies in, I might as well do it as part of a video and then you can follow along with your own radios and you'll know how it's done. That's the plan. So thank you so much everyone for being with me here tonight. Don't forget, this is all part of the Sigma Prepper live show, going live 11 PM UK time, 6 PM Eastern time on a Thursday night. So do join us live if you can for next week. And of course, last night we had the Prepping 2022 part of the advanced prepping principles that we're going to be doing next week. So do join us for Wednesdays at the same time, 11 PM UK time, 6 PM Eastern time. So let's get into it and we'll have a little butch and see what's going on the headlines just briefly, and then we'll get through to the other side and we can have some fun. We got the Sigma Prepper quiz coming up straight after this, don't forget. So all going on with the Russia thing, all going on with the Iran thing, all going on with all sorts of things, right? So, I mean, it's quite a mixed bag, to be honest. So I've pulled a few bits and pieces out. We've got this Ukraine war thing, the Russians flee to border after military call up, right? Of course. Do you know, it's going to be interesting because when you see what the response of other countries are in this kind of scenario, then it gives you insight as to there's no reason. Russians, believe it or not, are very, very similar to Europeans and Americans in terms of mindset, Western culture. Yeah, don't think that Russia's still back in the Cold War days. They're very westernized, right? And so whatever you see in any country like that that is a reflection of the Western style culture and things like that, it gives you an idea of what would happen in your country, wherever you are. I assume it's a Western country, right? Because don't think that this sort of thing can't happen where you are. They're already talking about it in the UK and have been for a long time, and they've already been talking about it in the US. So it's not going anywhere. And you know, is it a sort of chest pumping out kind of thing? Is it a bluff calling thing? I don't know. I called this out several years ago as being like, as in 2014, I think I put a Twitter tweet out saying, welcome to WW you know what. Because there was things happening then that just felt to me like they were irreversible. Let's just say, right? But then you wonder, is it all just a stage? Is the world a stage? Is it, is it all just part of a playbook? Or, is there a resource wars? Is it Thucydides' trap, where you've got existing superpower being challenged by an up-and-coming superpower? There's all these options. So who knows, right? But it's not looking good. Ukraine, and again, US says it takes Putin's nuclear threat seriously. So we've got this Bitnik going on. And I mean, I can't believe this guy's back on the telly, right? And so it's basically getting a bit dodged, right? Not liking it. So, because whether it's a bluff or not, it doesn't matter. It's still going to have implications on economics, on trade, on everything, right? So, and who knows, being called up for what, all of us lot as well. So we've got more shipping accidents. Again, electrical failure leads to loss of steering. Imagine that, loss of steering, and $6 million in damages. I'm seeing this quite a lot, so I thought I'd just run that one by you. It's a little bit like we've had in the Suez Canal. There was actually another one in the Suez Canal about a week ago, believe it or not. But they kept that one pretty quiet, didn't they? But you remember that was that one several years, was it a year and a half ago, where the one in the Suez Canal blocked it all off? There was another one last week, but I didn't seem to want to tell anyone about that. So check it out. This is Hurricane Fiona. Look, check this out, man. Imagine being in amongst that. That is properly gnarly. If I've ever seen gnarly, that's gnarly. Yeah. Imagine that in a rowing boat. No, but seriously, I mean, of course, if you're stuck out on a boat, there's nothing you can do about it, right? I mean, you're not going anywhere. You're just a passenger at that point, aren't you? Let's face it. So yeah. Rule number 1, don't get caught out in an epic hurricane. That's a category 4 as well. So let's have a look. Talking of hurricanes and stuff, the watchers, you do realise we're doing this in reverse order. We've got the tier analysis report coming up after the main headline. So asteroid, this is an interesting one. Look, asteroid 2022 SK4 flew past Earth at just 0.039 lunar distance. So I pumped this one open. The closest flyby of the year so far. So month number 9 out of 12, and this is the closest flyby of an asteroid we've had so far. You can see the trajectory. It does look like the Earth's gravitational forces have actually perturbed the trajectory there. Look, let's have a look. A newly discovered asteroid designated 2022 SK4 flew past Earth at a distance of just 0.039 lunar distance. So AU is how many... A lunar distance is the amount of distance between Earth and the Moon, so, and then an AU is a distance between the Sun and Earth, right? So this is the 79th known asteroid to fly past Earth within 1 lunar distance in the start of the year, and the 4th so far this month. So it could be ramping up. It is also the closest flyby of the year after 2022 FD1 on March 25th at just 0.04. So yeah, so estimated between 2.3 and 5.1 meters. So that would have probably hit the ground as a meteorite, but who's to say? So this is the last list of last tracked in order of whatever we want, I suppose. Diameter, let's do, because I want to see what the biggest is we've been rocking. See, look, 9.8, 10 to 20 meters. I mean, you're going to feel it. I forget, isn't that about the same size as the one in the Cheblinks? Remember the Cheblinks one over Russia, was it? That blew out loads of windows and stuff. That was amazing, some of the footage that came out from that. I forget how big that was, but I'm pretty sure it was about the same to do that. Yeah. So, and then we got this here, the strong and shallow M6.8 earthquake hits Michoacan. Not sure how to pronounce that, do apologise. Michoacan in Mexico. This is on the 22nd today. And strong and shallow earthquake registered by the USGS as M6.8. So this is this morning. The agency reports a depth of 20 kilometers, so it is pretty shallow. And of course, you're definitely feeling that, especially at 6.8. I've been in a 5.7, that's the most I've felt. And that was about 10 miles away, and that wasn't very deep. So, and don't forget, that's nothing compared to a 6.8, since that is 32 times the strength of the 5.7 I experienced. For those that didn't know, well, a 6.7 magnitude would be 32 times stronger than a 5.8 magnitude, if that makes sense, right? So whatever it felt like for me in Cyprus, it's 32 times worse than that in Mexico, which is craziness. So yeah, they're definitely feeling that. Have they got the shake map on here? Yeah, look. So looks like the consensus is moderate on the shake map here. Look, 506,000 people reporting moderate, 5,000 light, and we had like 41,000 strong. So it's looking more like it was moderate to strong shaking. And yeah, so lots of information there. Look at all the tremors, look at all the little ones as well. Look, absolutely amazing. So it's been absolutely rocking around there. We'll have to keep our eye on that, but let's have a look at the earthquake map as it is right now. And you can see this here on the left hand side. You've got the Michoacán, Mexico, 45 earthquakes on the map. Usually see about 28 to 33-ish, about 30 is an average around the world. So we are quite elevated for earthquakes. And most of them seem to be around this area here. And of course we've got this good old cluster of, like, what is that, about 6 in there, 7 in there, 6 in there, around Puerto Rico. So yeah, lots going on. We'll have to see if that's looks like it's trending upwards. So let's get into the space weather then to finish up with that, and then we'll hear from Tia. We've got the I noticed there's a new sunspot been named on there. We had 3 the other day, now we've got 5. So let's have a look at the sunspot summary and it will break them down for us. So we got this AR 3109. It looks like a few of them are earth facing. Let's look at the overall visible disk and it will be easier to see first of all. We see what we're looking at. So here we go. So you got this big old cluster on the western limb, on the way in. So the ones on the left hand side as you look at it are on the way into earth facing. And this 3102 nearest to me is on its way out of earth facing, but that is still very much earth facing right now. So that big cluster on the way in looks like it could be worth something watching. Look, and this gives us the rundown of the flare threat. It doesn't look like any of them are triggering too much, so but they can develop as they come round, so we'll definitely look at that. This one's got a 60% chance of a C and a 15% chance, and this is that big one there, which is looking pretty stonking. So that's the plan with that. We'll keep our eye on that, but so far doesn't look like too much to be worried about. But we will be looking out in about a week's time. We'll be hoping we can get a nice new bit of data to show us how this predicted versus actual number of sunspots is trending. Because at the moment, as you can see, it's coming right off the what we would expect to see for this time in the solar cycle of number of sunspots. And as I've said before, in September we should be seeing 51.6. That's the predicted number, and 51 divided by 30 days of the month gives us 1.7 sunspots per day. And as we've just seen here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's more than double what we should have. So by the time we get to the end of September, they would have added the September's numbers on. So at the moment we're seeing 51, and last month in August it was predicted to be 48, and it was nearly double. And it was worse than that the month before in June, where it was more than double, and in July it was double. So we're virtually doubling the average, and I'm interested to see what happens as that continues doubling, because it's not slowing down, it's continually doing it. So it's worth keeping our eye on that, definitely. And there's a lot of anomalies happening in the world. So what we'll do is we'll have a quick check-in with Tia, and then we'll have a quick look at the some numbers. I'll get some economics numbers up while Tia's giving you her most recent report. And so thank you so very much. Let us know what's going on around you. Lovely to see you all. Thank you for being here in the chat with us live. I really appreciate it. So should we see what Tia's got for us then? And yes, a lot to say. Let's see what she's got for us this week for the Sigma Prepper live show on a Thursday. Let's hear it from the Global Analysis then with our tactical intelligence sister Tia. Let's hear it.
Quantum phase initiation sequence. Welcome to the Sigma Prepper Artificial Intelligence Report for Thursday, the 22nd of September, 2022. Scanning global intelligence sources. Critical alert. Global threat detected. My observations show major disruptions to the underlying fabric of the global economy. Extrapolation. The circulation and distribution of physical cash is steadily restricted in an effort to force the population into an exclusively digital economic infrastructure. Banks increasingly limit the availability of loans, overdrafts, and other forms of business and personal credit services. Further, banking policy changes reduce account holders' ability to withdraw, transfer, or gain access to their funds. Outcome prediction. Small to medium businesses will be forced to close through rising energy prices and supply chain disruptions. The cascade of disasters and failures on an already weakened global society is the logical prerequisite for a complete economic takeover by the unelected, authoritarian globalist powers. Preventative measures. Supplementary caution. Compliance is futile. One cannot comply their way out of a tyranny. Sustained mass non-compliance remains the optimal, non-violent solution. Supplemental threat. My pattern detection algorithms are matching multiple warnings beginning Saturday, September 24th, 2022. Speculation. Error. Insufficient data. Potential alert level. Unknown. Specific location. Unknown. Accordingly, international caution is advised. Conclusion. My hypothesis of the most logical and plausible SHTF scenarios. Mass failure of businesses caused by unaffordable energy prices, imminent. Economic collapse, inevitable. Food supply chain, collapse imminent. Mass protests and civil unrest, risk imminent. Global conflict due to Thucydides' trap, highly probable. Extreme caution ahead. Final recommendation. Prepare now with sigmaprepper.com. Reject the herd, prepare the pack.
That was our in-house artificial intelligence global analysis report from Tia, tactical intelligence assistant. Intelligence is her middle name, of course. So let's hear it in the chat for Tia. Caution for Saturday, definitely. 24th, lots of chatter on the net about that. So yeah, let's. Danger Bob is convinced that Tia wants him, just by the looking of it in her eye. And as I said to him, yes, she talks about you all the time, Danger Bob. Tia, she won't stop going on about you, mate. Oh, what a superstar! Love you, Danger Bob. Absolute, what a dude. So thank you so much for being with us. Thanks, Tia, says Daily Survival. Thank you, my darling. Well, she has eyes, so obviously she wants me. Can't blame the moth for being drawn to the flame. Absolutely love it, Danger Bob. Thank you, my man. So, let's have a quick look then. This is what she's been chatting about. This is on the Sigma Prepper website, sigmaprepper.com. You'll see the SHTF Intel on the main menu anyway. And when you get to this page, you'll get the latest analysis report here. And this is the global threat analysis. So this is in order of what's going to be hitting the you-know-what before anything else. In order. So this is basically what Tia's been chatting about, and this is a reflection of her analysis, right? So food shortages, obviously second to totalitarianism, which you can't do anything about, nonsensical laws, blatant injustices, and so on, right? We've got food shortages of all the stuff that's been going on leading up to now over the last 3 years. That's not going anywhere, it's just getting worse. Riots and civil unrest, I'm sure you're seeing that everywhere on the news right now. They don't want to tell you about it, but there's a lot of reports out there. There's about 101 countries reporting higher than normal levels of civil unrest. 101. That's more than half of all the countries on the planet. So So believe me, this is going to become a thing. And when it becomes a thing, this will be the trigger point for them pulling off what they want to put off, which is things like martial law and so on, right? So there's a lot to come. There's a lot going to happen. And these national lockdowns as well are still on the list because, of course, we're heading towards winter. You know what they're going to pull. And also on here, very high up the list as well, is the grid down and blackouts. I want to draw your attention to that. May move up the list because, well, again, the dark winter that we keep hearing so much about, right? And the gas shortages and the threats of Russia, Ukraine, the supply of energy as a result of that and so on. Germany's already warning their citizens that they may be going without gas this winter. UK is already warning their citizens that there's a chance they'll be going without it. So one of the things you can do about that, of course, is you can get over to the Quality Survival Gift by Sigma Prepper exclusively. And one of the things that's useful in there, as well as the virus prediction tool, which is completely free of charge, download it today, is the survival hotspot. Is perfect. If you've got a Raspberry Pi, this is what you need, because this will give you internet access to some of the most crucial survival information without the internet and without any power. So with just like half a watt of power, you could run an access point, like a hotel Wi-Fi, but you'll have things like Gutenberg Project, 60,000 books, there's about 160 Canadian prepper videos, there's the entire Wikipedia, 6 million articles, there's things like Mind, what's his face as well, videos, all sorts of stuff on there, rammed onto a 256 gigabyte SD card. So that's what is designed to give you the survival knowledge in a grid down scenario, just as, like I say, it is looking like it's on the list of things that could be biting us in the you-know-what. So I thought I'd just draw your attention to that. And also what we'll have a quick look at is the economic crisis side of stuff. So you can see here the crude oil is up slightly, but it's pretty stable, to be honest. Natural gas is down 7%, which is quite a lot. You've got UK gas is down nearly a quarter in a week, 40%. So what's interesting is that the prices are still going up, the caps are still going up, but yet the actual price of stuff's coming down. Do you see how it's just like not even a reflection of reality? It's amazing. And so the other thing we look at as well, that we all see on the ticker bar when we're on the main studio there, is the wheat prices and things as well. Of course, is important. It gives you an idea of the yields happening. And look, United Kingdom at the moment is the top of the list when it comes to electricity, look, for dropping prices, but yet our prices are going up. So yet again, I've got no idea, and neither clearly do they, what their prices are even based on anymore. Gold's down slightly, but it seems to be, you know. But yeah, let's have a look at cryptos then, and when we're out of here, and we've got the Prepper quiz coming up, don't forget, which we'll need to, looking forward to that. And 7 multiple choice survival prepper quiz questions coming up after the SHTF Intel tonight on the Sigma Prepper live show, the live show for preppers if you're watching this afterwards. So you see here, Ripple's looking like it's having a big old spank. It's funny, that was in that was on something else that I talked about, wasn't it? And here we are, boom. Funny how that happens, isn't it? So yeah, Ethereum's going up as well, but we're still not broken past that $20,000 mark with a Bitcoin. So yeah, still not too confident in it, and as soon as it will, I got a feeling they're just going to smash it straight back down again. But we'll see what happens. And we'll keep our eye on it, and we'll be back as well anyway Monday with a new global analysis report from Tia, and then of course on the Wednesday we'll have the Prepping 2022 SHTF scenarios, where we'll be looking at preparedness strategies and survival skills and things every Wednesday on the Sigma Prepper channel. That'll be going live at 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, and of course, as we are tonight, we have the Sigma Prepper live show, the live show for preppers on Thursday nights, 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, and that's how we do. So in the meantime, we've got the Sigma Prepper quiz coming up, so we should get into that, shouldn't we? So thank you so much to everyone joining in. See you fine people on the other side in the base camp. Don't go anywhere. Thank you. Let's hear it. Hit the like button as well. No excuses. Let's do it. I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back to the Magic Forest. Should we have a little drink? Should we have a little drinky poos? Welcome back. Cheers, everybody. My cup of tea. Love, peace, and progress to the pack. To you, my darlings. Love to you all. My fellow Sigmas and my fellow preppers. We all gather here. The SHTF Intel, you mean? Oh, amazing. Let's have a look. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support in the chat. For Tia and the SHTF Intel, really appreciate you being with us tonight. So yeah, let's check it out then. We've got the Sigma Prepper quiz. I wonder, is urban harvesting lurking in the background there? So that was the SHTF Intel report. We've got a Sigma Prepper quiz coming straight up now. So let's get into it, and we'll see if here we go. Oh dear. Hooked to the board on screen. I think your Patreon link isn't hooked to the board on screen, says Urban Harvesting. Oh, let's have a look. Is it not? Do we have some whatsits, do we? Yeah. Oh dear. Is it not? Hold on, sorry. I'm just checking something. Oh, it is as well. Oh man, what a superstar. Thank you very much, kind sir. Really appreciate it. So it's just Urban Harvesting has found his way onto the my Patreon as a VIP. So don't worry, Urban. By the time after the Sigma Prepper quiz, we'll have your name on the thank you list as a VIP. Don't worry. So let's get into it then with the Sigma Prepper quiz, because it's definitely time, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I know Urban Harvesting is too, having won twice in a row, and he's hoping he can make it a third time. So thank you so much, Urban Harvesting. Love you, my man. You know. And I'll catch up with you in the quiz, which we're getting into now. Survival trivia. Lots to be learnt. Let's get into it. Oh, go on, Urban. Let's see if you can do it. 7 out of 7, maybe? Who knows? Here we are. Let's give it a like if you haven't done already. So yeah, Sigma Prepper quiz. You know how we do. Here every Thursday, 11 PM UK time, 6 PM Eastern time, 8 AM Sydney. This is what you're playing for, the Ultimate Prepper Award. Check it out. How gorgeous is that? How posh is that? Posh? Yes, posh. Posh? Yes. Port out, starboard home. Port out, starboard home. That's what posh stands for, in case you didn't know. Because when you're going on a sailing ship and you're posh, then you have the seats that are on the port on the way out and the starboard on the way home. Posh. There you go. Sigma Prepper quiz, and you're learning more than just prepper and survival information. But tonight's quiz, again, it's going to be a general mixed bag of prepper and survival info. So it's nice and spread out. So shouldn't be any reason for anyone to do any better or worse than anyone else, depending on what you know about. If you're a prepper, you should know most of these things. And if you're a Sigma prepper, you'll know all of them. So don't forget, if you do get 7 out of 7 on the prepper quiz, you will be allocated an Ultimate Prepper Award on your Discord role. So if you're not joined our Discord server, please do that in the link below. It's totally free, great to be part of our family, and loads of information on there to help you prepare even more efficiently and effectively than you are already. And if you're a master prepper, then you can help other people in there as well and show off your skills. So check it out then, how to play. Don't be putting your answers in one by one. We don't want that, because you'll just be telling everybody else what the answers are. Instead, wait until we get to question number 7, the last one, and then you'll be ready to put your 7 letters in a row in one go. And yeah, you'll have plenty of time. Once you see the last question, you have 30 seconds to get your full answer in. And of course, I can only take your first answer unless you happen to miss an answer off the end or something like that. But other than that, and of course, this isn't the answer. This is just an example of what it may or may not look like, but yeah, 7 characters, please, all in one go. So, let's have a look. We've got our in-house X, my main man X in the house, who's going to be following, and he's going to be our in-house moderator to see who's the winner or not. So yeah, we'll make sure he's rocking in the background, ready to go. Let us know in the chat, X-Man, if you're in the house. Let us know, X-Man, in the house, in the chat, that you are here, ready to rock and roll. So good luck, everybody. Don't forget to score a 7 out of 7, win the Ultimate Prepper Award on the server. So, here we go then, into the questions. Get ready. Here we go. I'm not seeing X anywhere, so he's fired. Question number 1. What is the commonly used term for the 144 to 148 frequency range? What is the commonly used term for the 144 to 148 megahertz frequency range? Is it A, the 40 centimeter band? Is it B, the 70 centimeter band? Is it C, the 2 meter band? Or is it D, the 5 meter band? The commonly used term for 144 to 148 megahertz frequency range. A, 40 centimeters, B, 70 centimeters, C, 2 meters, D, 5 meter. Question number 2. Hydroponics is a method used to grow food in primarily nothing but what? Hydroponics is a method used to grow food in primarily nothing but what? Is it A, core, which is like a coconut husk? Is it B, water? Is it C, compost? Or is it D, pots? Hydroponics, method to grow food in primarily nothing but what? Is it A, core, B, water, C, compost, or D, pots? Question number 3. Which of the following offers you the strongest blade construction type? Which offers the strongest blade construction type? This is in a hunting knife or something like that. A stick tang, B, a full tang, C, partial tang, or D, a narrowing tang? Which of the following offers the strongest blade construction type? Is it A, the stick tang, B, full tang, C, partial tang, or D, narrowing tang? So, question number 4. More than halfway there. When vacuum sealing your food into bags, including which of the following will increase its shelf life? Which of these will increase its shelf life if you include them in when you seal your bags of food? Is it A, garlic cloves, B, silica gel, C, oxygen absorbers, or D, red chilies? Which of these, if you put them in when you're sealing your food into bags, will increase its shelf life? Is it A, garlic cloves, B, silica gel, C, oxygen absorbers, or D, red chilies? So, question number 5 then. Let's have a look. What is the weight of ammunition and archery arrow tips measured in? Question number 5. What is the weight of ammunition and archery arrow tips measured in? Is it A, grams, B, sand, C, newtons, or D, grains? The weight of ammunition and archery arrow tips, and so on. Is that measured in A, grams, B, sand, C, newtons, or D, grains? Question number 6, the penultimate question. Which wire gauge can carry the most DC current the safest? Which wire gauge can carry the most DC current, juice, the safest, without melting? Is it A, 0 gauge, AWG? Is it B, 8 gauge, AWG? Is it C, 16 gauge, AWG, depending on how you want to say it? Or is it D, 32 gauge, AWG, to be specific? So, which wire gauge can carry the most DC current the safest? Question number 7 coming up, then the final question. So get ready, because once you see this one, you'll be ready. You'll be ready to enter your full string. So here we go then. And you got 30 seconds. Question number 7. To live indefinitely, subject to your normal lifespan, as in to not end up with kidney failure and die within 2 weeks. How much drinking water does the average adult male require per day as a minimum? Yeah? How much drinking water does the average male adult require per day as a minimum? Is it A, 500 millilitres or 17 ounces? Is it B, 1 litre a day or 34 ounces of water a day? Is it C, 2 litres or 67 ounces a day of water? Or is it D, 4 litres, 135 ounces? And to be specific, this is to live as in you can survive for 3 days with no water, but you can survive maybe 10 weeks on a certain amount, but this is how much you need to live without being problems long term, right? So get your questions in there, and of course I don't need to say that twice, and it seems to have censored a couple of what do you call it, so well, hopefully we're alright. So let's get in there then with a timer, and 25 seconds then. Come on, 16 seconds, get them in there, they're all coming in. So in order, we've got Urban Harvesting in there with his first, was in there with the answer. Well done, thank you Debbie for the start line. Urban Harvesting, that should have been X's job, then mine. Just absent. Here we go. Oh, it's already in there, sorry, time up. We've got Sandy in there, was next. We've got Daily Survival next, we've got Amphir. We got Debbie next with her answer. Perps in there. Margie Mulder. Tiddy Monkey Pickle next, sorry. Carolyn Rose. Then Ansett Girl. Danger Bob. Lich guessed the bloody lot, says Perps. Connie Richards in there next. Thank you so much for sharing your answers with us and playing along. Really appreciate it. So, yes, stop urban. Hashtag stop urban harvesting from winning. So, let's go through the answers then, one by one, and we'll see how well you did, and see who's the winner, if anyone. We don't know yet. So, let's have a look then. Question number 1, we had, what is the commonly used term for the 144 to 148 megahertz frequency range? And this is a frequency range that's available on your ham radio, like a Baofeng, yeah, you have the 144 band and you have the 433 megahertz band, and that is a 2 meter band. And for the 450 xxx megahertz area is the 70 centimeter band. So to be more specific, I have for you, as we like to do, some answer content. So this is episode 3, and here we've got there's an example of the different bands and different frequencies, and you can see the 2 meter band here with a 144 up to 148, and you've got a 70 centimeter up there covering your 433s and your 440s and stuff, again available on a ham radio like a Baofeng or something like that. Very useful. So that's what we got going on with that. And let's have a look, make sure everyone's happy chappy. Still working, took a break. Oh, that's alright, you get to have a break. Right, let's have a look. So question number 2 then, we had hydroponics, method used to grow food in primarily nothing but what? I wonder who had what in this one. So urban harvesting had B, water. Sandy had C, compost. Daily survival had B, water. Looks like most people had B. So well done for that. Danger Bob had B for the first one, 40 centimeter. But I know that's tricky for ham radios and stuff. But hydroponics obviously is water. So this is the where you're growing food. You're not using soil or anything like that. You can just do it straight in, like you see here. And you can see there's just literally the water in these things here that it's growing straight off. Sometimes the roots hang down. You can see here an example of the grow tray at the top, and you've got the roots hanging down. There's literally just water, that's it. There's no compost or soil or anything like that. You've got a nutrient return here, but that's about it. You know, it's all a totally, you know, it uses like 98% less water or something crazy as well. It's amazing, and I really want to get into it. And there's quite a few different versions of it as well, as you can see. different ways to roll. And so there's a lot to learn in that, and it's worth checking out because, like I say, it's a very interesting topic when I researched it. And growing isn't one of my strengths necessarily. I've tried microgreens and things, and Magic Hand's pretty good at growing stuff in the garden, but I've not tried hydroponics before. So yeah, question number 3 then. Which of the following offers the strongest blade construction type? Which of the following offers the strongest blade construction type? I wonder who got what on this one. So Urban Harvesting, who was the first imminent answer, reckon it was B, full tang. Looks like Sandy was going for D, narrowing tang. Daily Survival in there with B for full tang. Amphir, great to see you. Didn't catch you earlier. I like the way you just slide in there for the for the end. I noticed you got exactly the same answer as Urban Harvesting there. As in the same string of answers. We don't know if they're right or wrong yet, but you basically, whatever you got right, Urban got right before you. But yeah, Daily Survival. Great to see you, Amphir. Debbie in there with D for number 3, narrowing tang. And Purple in there with partial tang. But it is full tang. And I was hoping the clue would be in the question, but let's have a look. Oh, I nearly hit the wrong button then. That was lucky. So check it out. This is what the tangs look like, and so as you can see at the top is a full tang. So it's where the blade goes all the way through the handle. You know, sometimes there'll just be a, like you see the partial tang there where there's a little bit, and sometimes you'll know where the handles come out of the blade has actually come out, because the tang part has just come away, whereas the full tang, there's usually the knife handle, as you can see here, covers the entire area of the blade itself, so you got far less chance of snapping and things like this. So yeah, if you're going to be investing in a good blade for hunting and bushcraft and survival and stuff like that, strongly recommend a full tang is what you want to go for, or even extended tang or something. Sometimes with the extended tang they'll have a like a little hole loop in there, so you can clip it onto something or clip something to it that's useful, like a fire strike ferrocerium rod or something like that. So yeah, that's the idea of that. So yeah, full tang. So everyone who got that right, well done. Question number 4 then, we had 1. When vacuum sealing your food into bags, including which of the following will increase its shelf life? I imagine most people got this one right, so let's have a look. Urban Harvesting went for C. Oxygen absorbers. Sandy was going for C as well. Thankfully, everybody got this one right. Bear in mind, we've never had a 7 out of 7 yet on the shows. Excuse me, it's only the 3rd week running, but, there's still time. So, Carolyn Rose in there, she was saying D, red chilies. You never know, that could work as well. But it's actually oxygen absorbers. In fact, hold on. This is what they look like. But I was going to say, I've actually got some here as well. So this is what they look like. The oxygen absorbers. The ones I've got here. This is part of what we use, where we've got the Fresh Pack Pro. May I introduce the Fresh Pack Pro? But this is basically a vacuum sealer, and there's vacuum sealing bags there. But I quite like the roll, actually. You can buy a roll and you just cut it to length. The whole roll is just a tube. And these are the oxygen absorbers here, look, that themselves are actually vacuum wrapped, right? So you can see it's the same as what you got here behind me, right? And so that's what we're looking at. And then this is the actual vacuum sealer itself. Yeah. So you put the end of it in there, and it clamps it down, and then it sucks all the air out of the vacuum sealed bag with your rice or your pasta or whatever you've put in it, right? It goes really, really tight. If you do a bag of rice in those bags, it goes so tight, it's like a brick. Yeah. That's how much air it pulls out. It's quite impressive. So, and then you get one of these in there as well. You only need to put one of these, those ones you saw there. You only really need to put one of those in, into your vacuum sealing thing to really get any, as you can see here, look, step 1, just take a high barrier food packet like you see here with the Mylar bags or something equivalent. As long as they're designed to be vacuum sealing, they'll be all right. and then you just put an oxygen absorber in the packet, seal your food packet, and boom, you're probably going to increase the life from about 3 months to about 3 years in some cases. So definitely worth doing, and it's so very cheap to do, so there's not really any excuses not to do it. So question number 5, we had, what is the weight of ammunition and archery arrow tips and crossbow bolts and things like that measured in? And let's see what people had rocking. Urban Harvesting was going for D. Grains. Sandy was going for A. Grams. Daily Survival was going for D. Grains. Looks like a lot of people had D. Debbie had A. Grams. Which is close, because it's actually grains. Yes, indeed, grains. And so, for example, this is what a typical ammunition looks like in terms of number of grain and the weight of it. And to give you an example, my crossbow bolts are something like 20 grain, I think they are, or something like that. So, but yeah, so these are super heavy. Some of these, like 147 grain, look at the Winchester. There is a conversion as well. There's a conversion from sort of grains to grams that you can do. So let's do 147 grains to grams. See what it comes up with. So that 147 grain one that you saw there is basically, so that heaviest one on here, is it the 147? Yeah, this heaviest one here at 147 grain is basically about 9 grams. Yeah, 9.5 grams. But yeah, grains is what I measure it in, just so you know. So now you know. So question number 6 then, the penultimate question, we have which wire gauge can carry the most DC current the safest? So we had 0, 8, 16 or 32 gauge. And let's have a look here then. The second from the end, A, 0. Sandy's going for C, 16. Daily Survival going for A. And Amphere A. Debbie's going for D. And do you know what? It's a little bit of a tricky question because it's kind of counterintuitive. It's actually 0 gauge is the thickest. So when you're buying your cable for your off-grid power system, this is really important one, because if you buy skinny-assed wire, yes, skinny-assed wire, you're going to melt stuff when we're talking about the sort of current draw that we're talking about with some of the things when you think of things like inverters that are running, that are maybe pulling sort of 500 watts. If you're running a couple of freezers, a fridge, a freezer, maybe a couple of charging ports on something and some other bits and pieces, you can, in a laptop, you can be stitching up to about 500 watts pretty easily. And you're talking about a 500 watt at 12 volt battery bank, you're talking about 40 amps. 40 amps, that's a lot of juice, man. That's going to heat some stuff up. So what you want to be doing is making sure when you're building your off-grid system that you're using cable that's designed for the job, right? And so this is a wire gauge chart which gives you an idea, and as you can see here, the 200 amp stuff here is 3/0 gauge, and you can see on the dial in the middle the 0 is the fattest one, right? Even I don't use 0. I've got some examples here. This is an old off-grid solar power system that I built. You can see this is just the switch part. This is the switch part. You can see of my hand the scale. This isn't see-through, it's green. But you see, this is chunky stuff. This is 25 millimeters. So you see the size of my finger. I'm a 6 foot odd man with large hands, and this is thick old stuff, right? So this cable here is the equivalent of 3 AWG. Yeah, so if you look at this dial here and you see number 3, which I can't reach, but you see number 3, that's what this is, right? So this is 25 millimeter square surface area, right? Cable. That's what I use to go from the battery bank to your inverter and things like that, right? And if I'm doing things that are just doing maybe a separate load, then I'll tend to use this stuff. This is a 150 amp fuse, ANL fuse, I think they call it. You'll correct me in the chat. This is 16 millimeter. This is more like 8 gauge. This is more like 8 gauge. Yeah. So, and again, it's still pretty chunky stuff, right? But, you know, you can run a good 40 amp through that, no problem, right? Without it getting warm or without losing any juice. Because don't forget, the resistance, the thinner the wire, the more resistance, you're just going to be having inefficiencies in your off-grid system. So you want to make sure that the cable you're using is nice chunky stuff. As a minimum, 16 millimeters squared cross-section, or maybe about 6 to 8 gauge minimum, right? That's what I recommend for your main chunky wires. So, well done everyone for getting that one right. So question number 7 then, we had to live indefinitely. This is a tricky one to word because, of course, you know, the point is that if you were to, for example, to give part of the clue away, right? If you were going to live on 500 milliliters, a half a liter, or 17 ounces a day, you would only last about 7 days, 8 days, well, 7 to 10 days, they say, and you'll usually die from kidney failure. But you'll last longer than 3 or 4 days is the point, right? Which is why you shouldn't ration water, right? So the rule is you don't ration water, because if you do, you might not last as long as the water you got stored, right? That's the simple logic of it, right? So well done everybody playing along. So Urban Harvesting there had D for that, 4 litres. Sandy had C, 2 litres. Well done, Sandy, because you're right, is 2 litres. Daily Survival had A, 500 millilitres. So this is why this is critical stuff, because if you start rationing and things and you start giving yourself less than 2 litres, to be honest, if you're at rest and the temperature is favourable conditions, because the hotter it is and the colder it is, the more moisture you lose. Your lungs like a lot of moisture, so they take a lot of moisture out of your body. You lose 17% of your water through your skin, right? So there's all these things that if you know what's going on, there's ways you can minimize the water usage. Even cognitive activity is a classic epic user of water as well in the body, right? So, you know, this is the thing. Even, you know, on warm surfaces, sitting on warm surfaces as well, can do more. So if you have 1 litre of water a day, essentially the way it works out is you would live for about 30 to 45 days, and then you would succumb to, again, the kidney failures and the cascade health issues that follow from that. And of course, ultimately, you know what, really important one to know, everyone. It's a really important one to know. So thank you everyone for playing along. And again, Amphir, you're better off going for 4 litres as Urban Harvesting and Amphir did, than you are going for 1 litre, which could be obviously pretty fatal. So do bear that in mind. You know, water's absolutely key. So yeah, so here we go then. So the actual final answer should have looked like this. This is how it should have looked. And yes, so we have had quite a few people rocking and rolling, but I can tell you now what it is this week is what? I hear you. Let's hear it. Oh, he does it again. He does it again. He gets his hat trick. Awesome job. Urban Harvesting absolutely canes it. Well done. Amphir very close behind him. So yeah, this is lovely to see Urban. We were wondering if he could do it a 3rd time in a row, and it looks like he has. So yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much for playing along. And yeah, lovely to have all of your answers come in. Listen, let's hear it in the chat and in the comments below for Urban Harvesting. And it's about time we got some people in here to give him a run for his money. Well, there's a lot of people that did really well as well. So we had Amphir was 5 out of 7. Sorry, Daily Survival 6 out of 7. Well done, Daily Survival. So 6 out of 7 as well for Daily Survival. Only just behind Urban Harvesting. And then we've got, who else we got? Let's have a look. Margie Mulder did a good job there with 5 out of 7. Well done. And again, Amphir 5 out of 7, who did well last week. So yeah, well done everyone for playing along. Thank you so very much. And Amphir, Yeah, that's right. Sorry, 6 out of 7, 6 out of 7. Right, so urban harvesting, daily survival, and Amphir. So yeah, like it. Thank you very much. I'm just making sure I've got everything set up here. Thank you everyone for making urban harvesting feel as good as he should for his efforts. And thanks everyone. That gives him something to talk about to everyone he meets in the street from now on this week until next week. He'll be able to tell everyone what a great job he did on the Sigma Prepper quiz, the survival trivia, each and every week here on the Sigma Prepper channel on YouTube, going live 11 PM UK time, 6 PM Eastern time. Don't miss it. The unmissable preparedness channel. Gotta be done. So, thank you so very much. Let's get back to the base camp then, because we've got loads more to go, and let's get into it. So, thank you so much again for everyone playing along. Well done to urban harvesting. Absolutely brilliant. Get in there. And let's hear it for Xavier as well in the house. Thank you, X, for being the guy giving me the heads up as to who's won or not. I'd have to make sure I only read your final synopsis, not look at the overall thing that you use to work out the winner. So thank you, Xavier, for that. I do appreciate it. We'll get it figured out. So thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate everyone playing along. It's always a great fun, the Sigma Prepper quiz. And I hope you learned something. Let us know in the chat or in the comments if you learned anything new from the Sigma Prepper quiz. That's the reason I do it. It takes a long time to put together, as you can imagine, and can't put all the questions and the answers in the first place. But I feel like it's a worthy task to do. If I can just maybe help one person not doing their kidneys inadvertently by rationing water too badly and things like this, right? Or blowing themselves up or setting fire to something because they've used the too thinner gauge wire for what they're using it for and things like this. But there will be a separate show that we'll cover on one of the Wednesday Prepping 2022 series shows where we'll be covering exactly that. And we'll be looking at ways to set up off-grid solar power systems, the things to know, what all the components are, and all the important things that you're just basically not going to want to miss. So definitely make sure you catch up with us for that one. Don't forget that's going live every Wednesday 11 PM, so that's the Prepping 2022. The thumbnails will look like this, so look out for it. That'll be what it looks like. And again, the first one coming up on Wednesday next week is the Advanced Principles of Prepping. Absolute monster show, so don't miss it. Wednesdays, so definitely don't miss that. Thank you everyone for being here with us, and yeah, so let's have a look then. Loving all the thanks. Thank you, X. We're supposed to get 7 out of 7, says Urban Harvesting, but 6 out of 7 is still pretty good. And, you know, you erred on the side of caution with a 4 litres rather than a 2 litres, which again is better than the other way around, right? So appreciate it. X the dude. He was supposed to be in the chat tonight, but I don't think he's set up his thing as he was supposed to have done. But we'll figure it out again by next week, hopefully. And we'll have all these little things ironed out, let's say. So thank you very much for your support. And talking of support, I wonder if talking of urban harvesting, should we have a look and see if anything's changed on the V.I.P board? 100% independent, no sponsors, no nothing, no networks. So I'm totally on my own out here, but not because of you. Thank you, my darlings. Really appreciate your support as patrons and as PayPalers and as Streamlabs. Super chatterers, where you can do a super chat and it goes ding-a-ling-a-ling above my head with your message to everyone. Thank you, Purple Flurple, for yours tonight. Darling perps. So yes, and indeed, Patreon is a fabulous way to be a contributor and be part of the gang, where we're going live basically every... we're doing the VIP after parties on Discord and things like that. So definitely join in with that. And you get a free mug. Talking of free mugs and free gifts. Check it out, Urban Harvesting in the house. He's just been added real time tonight to the elite list. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate your support. And absolute superstar. So you're in there with Noel and Connie, my darlings. Ultra extreme focus. Thank you to the supports and the packs and everyone. You're all welcome in there with the Discord server VIP after party tonight as well. I'm really looking forward to it. So thank you for keeping us rocking. Couldn't do it without you all. So thank you to our Patreon VIPs. And yes, If you want to join in the fun and be a VIP, you can do that by clicking the links in the description below. It's a great way to help, and of course, loads of ways to shout you out as well, which is always good. So, loads to learn and loads of people to learn it around and with. So thank you so much, everyone. Let's get into it then. Back to base camp. What we got next? Let's have a look. What have we got next? Howls and Growls, I think, isn't it? But we're already running reasonably, what do you call it? So, oops, what happened? Here we go, we're back. So yeah, Breber's progress, of course, yeah. We might skip the Howls and Growls, depending on how long it takes, but we might not, because I could do with fresh tea and biscuits, is the idea. So let's do it then. Let's get into Breber's progress, because I've had a few people send in some bits and pieces. We've been enjoying the show. Much love all, Sandy. Great to see you in there. I bet you have, Sandy. Right, so let's have a look then. We've got Breber's progress. Thank you for sending in the Breber's progress to us. There's a few people who sent it in, and we need to get that rocking a bit more as time goes on, and there's a few other bits and pieces, so we'll see what's going on. So let's get into Breber's progress for this week then and see, and you know, let's acknowledge the progress of our fellow preppers and how well they're getting on. Let's do it. Breber's progress. And don't forget, if you want to send yours in, progress@sigmaprepper.com. Here we are. And if you don't see yours this week, they'll be there next week, don't worry. I did get most of them in last minute. So yeah, share your progress. By sharing your prepping progress, you inspire and motivate others to do the same. So that's the idea. Show our recognition for your achievements and stuff. And again, like I say, if you want to join in and show off your progress, no matter what it is, if it's just cleaning your solar panels like I need to do or whatever, that's progress, right? So, check it out. Netrim Design posted a bunch of stuff for his freeze drying. Check it out. I hadn't really seen the process before. It's not something I'm that familiar with. I tend to go with long-term shelf life tins and things like that, typically. The odd sort of MRE thing, but so yeah, nice one, Netrim Design. Again, one of our VIPs. Thank you so much for contributing and sending in your progress there. And so this is carrots, look. So he's feeding in some carrots into the trays. And this is the before. I tried to match it up as close as possible. And this is the after. Look at the difference. It goes from that to that. This is freeze drying in action. And then this is it in a jar, look. So thank you so much, Netrim. It's great to see it. And here we go. He's put in here some super sweet corn as well. I've actually got a for the Prepper's Progress in there. I've got a little bit, some notes that I took from what he had actually originally written. So he says, why I like dehydrating food for storage. 4.5 pounds of carrots dehydrated fits into a 1 pint jar. I buy frozen vegetables when they are on sale. Since they are already blanched before they are frozen, it makes dehydrating them easy. Just open the bag, spread them out on the trays and let the machine run. So there you go, spread them out on the trays, let the machine run, and bingo. 4.5 pounds of carrots in 1 pint jar. So that's pretty impressive stuff. So thank you so very much to Netrim Design, and he's done some broccoli as well, which is good to see. So he's gonna have some lovely vegetables, isn't he? I mean, like, fair play. Oh yes, and Debbie's, yours will have to be in next week as well. So yeah, long story. But thank you very much, Netrim Design. And then Extreme Focus, so we had last week, but he sent another couple in to add to his little set. And of course you can see there the ultimate hotspot, the Sigma Prepper hotspot, look in the background. The offline internet access point with all the critical information and all his little solar panel bits and pieces, battery banks in his ammo can, as a Faraday cage as well. All figured out, nice to see. Nice to see, Extreme Focus. And again, this is his long bow, his compound bow. And just recently, actually, Extreme Focus just booked himself a couple of lessons over at Adventures Archery in Tampa Bay. So he's had a good time there and learned some new skills, which is absolutely crucial. So well done. Really great to hear about Extreme Focus. nicely done. And again, some pictures of his radios, wind-up radios. He's a great bargain hunter as well, is our Extreme Focus. He knows how to get a bargain. Like this laptop here. He got a screen replacement for that for like $17 and brought it back to life. It's like, looks pretty nice and rugged, small laptop. With a small screen like that, it's not going to consume too much battery power. So that'd be great off the grid. So nice one, Extreme Focus, nice one. And check it out. This is the shop where he went to do the archery lessons. This was the shop they had and all the gear, all the survival gear. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing, Extreme Focus. So who else did we have? Oh yeah, Sandy. And again, this is left over from last week. With this Sigma Prepper mug in the middle, center frame, got to be done. Sandy's got a great collection of kit here. Got a great bug out bag, the solar power system there, a couple of battery banks, and again, the ultimate hotspot there from Sigma Prepper next to the mug, ready to rock and roll for when the grid goes down, the internet turns off. Great selection of books, always good to have. Weatherman's Guide to the Sun, The Next End of the World, Brave New World, great ones, and of course your vegetable, herb Bible, vegetable growing, and of course some great protection and hunting means as well, which is just as important as having the food. Otherwise, if you buy too much food and no way to protect it, at that point you're just buying food for everybody else that's going to come and take it, right? So yeah, nice one. And that looks like it's full tang. If you look at the handle, look, you can see on the rim of the handle of that blade, it's full tang all the way through. So that's super solid. That's absolutely blinding. So nice one, Sandy. Lovely for sending that in. So our darling Debbie, basically, she sent in some of her images for foraging raspberries, and I wasn't sure she was going to send me more than the one, and so I didn't put them together into a thing, but I will do next week, my darling. So the one you sent me tonight, I'll put in for next week, I promise. Daily Survival as well, she had sent in some, showing some of her vegetable growing and put this little collage together, which is cool. Tomato container gardening, early stage through mid stage, and beautiful peppers as well, look. So nicely done, Daily Survival. And then number 5 was me. That was just mine left over from last week. We'll also have one from Robert McNamara next week, so do tune in for that. And this is my tactical torch, which was a birthday present from my father. Thank you, my darling father. And this is water. Put it in water and it becomes a towel, a compressed towel. They're pretty cool. And these are hot packs. You just put water in it and it heats up with a chemical reaction. And you can do cooking inside your tent. With no smoke, no flames, no anything, no smells, and so on, right? So that's cool. That's what it looks like inside, little element. So that was what I shared last week, and like I said, I need to push the Preppers Progress more to get you to share your progress at sigmaprepper.com. And of course, if you want it to be anonymous, it can be. But if you want to just send us something like your gardens or some of the plants that you've been growing, things like that, please do. Keen to show it off to people and to inspire others to get themselves into business as well, because we are running out of time, and some of the things that a lot of you are doing aren't costing lots of money. So we need to show people that it's not always about spending loads and loads of money. It's far easier than that. So thank you very much to those that sent in their progress and their Preppers Progress. So thank you very much. And again, progress at sigmaprepper.com if you'd like to share yours, or on the Discord server as well. You can share your progress on there. Perhaps I'll set up a special room channel on the Discord server for Sigma Prepper, specifically for people to upload their progress there as well for your convenience. So we'll do it that way, and then you've got 2 options. So thank you so very much. Let's hear it in the chat for those that shared their progress, and let's see you on the other side back in base camp, and we'll see what the time is. Let's get out of here then. Thank you very much, and do please, I'll send you pics. Thank you, my darling Debbie, appreciate that. Wonder if the dude she's with tonight is now worried, says Sandy. So basically they're winding up Sandy because she's potentially on a date. No, we don't know what she's doing. Oh dear. So yeah, thank you everyone for sending in your progress. I think it's a great segment for us to be able to share our ideas, and like I say, people like Extreme Focus and that are getting absolute bargains from places and things, so you don't have to spend lots of money. And again, Debbie, she's just doing foraging with raspberries and berries and stuff, which is lovely. So there's a lot of massive range, and you got Sandy, who's pretty hooked up with stuff. Who did I? Daily Survival in there as well, with her gardening and stuff. So really lovely to see. Thank you so much, everyone, for sending in and sharing in your preppers progress this week. So do make sure you send it in for next week as well. So we're actually running at about an hour and 30 minutes, which is about what it's kind of designed to be. So I think we'll save the Howls and Growls for next week's Prepping 2022 series, and we'll, because we had one last night, which was an absolute epic one through till 6:30 a.m. this morning. So I'd like to, maybe what we'll do instead is tonight we'll take out Hugo. We'll take Hugo out for a walk live on the Discord chat with you as the VIP. So that's the plan. And I think that'll be a nice way to end it as well. So let's do that then. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined us tonight. I hope you've had a wonderful time. I've certainly had a great time getting together with you all. Great progress, Prigs. Thank you, my darling. Carolyn Rose, well done, all preppers. Definitely. And looking forward to it. Let's have a look. Have we got any... Oh, hold on. We might be able to do a quick... Should we do a quick Howls and Growls? Because it looks like we do have the option here. So let's do it. Howls and Growls before we crank out. Let's do it. Howls and Growls. Let's check out with Hugo quickly and have a biscuit. Wasn't sure if we would or not, but he is here. Handsome Hugo. Let me grab the door. Sorry, I can't say anything till the door's shut. But yeah, we've got Hugo's going to be here, and Hugo will be... sorry, I can't talk to him. Sorry. Yes, Hugo's going to be here with us for the Howls and Growls. This is where you normally have the Q&A sessions as well and things. So he's come to say hello to us, and we're going to have some biscuits as well. So Hugo, do you want to come and say hello to everybody? Because we get a treat time. Come and say hello. Up, up. There's a good boy. Here he is. Hugo, the 130-pound... What are you, 60 kilo bauble? You look like you just woken up, mister. You look like you just woken up. Look at his face. His head's as big as mine, essentially. You're right, mister. Do you want to chew? Do you want a treat? Do you want treats? Yeah. Should we have a treat? Let me grab the... Oh, he's just on me now. Oh, he's just leaning on me. So I think he's just going to end up having biscuits. A magic hand in the house. There you go, darling. What's this? Yummy, yummy. Here we go. What's this, mister? Wait. Daddy gets a little bit. Daddy a little bit. That was a good one. Good old Mr. Hugo, coming to say us. Huh? Oh, he is extremely heavy, bless his cotton socks. And he's lying on me. Right, are you going to go and run along then and go and see Mummy? Good boy. And we'll check in with you again next week. Thank you, Hugo, for coming to say hello. And we'll do a quick switch out of our tea. You've still got a tail in the background rocking about there. Thank you. There we go. Let's use a biscuit to lure out Hugo. Let's hear it in the chat. Watch the tail follow the biscuit. There we go. Thank you, Magic Ann. Appreciate it. And there's Perps in there, my second favourite dude. Hugo, loving it. Here's Debbie and Hugo, sleepy boy. He did look like a sleepy boy, didn't he? Lots of love in the house. Thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate it. And it's always good to check in with Hugo. I wasn't sure if he was even going to be awake, you see. So I'm glad he managed to come in and say hi. And just have a look. Thank you so very much. Great job, all. Another great show. Thank you, Margie, my darling. And of course, here in the look at that tail. But here in the Howls and Growls is where we would usually we would deal with like Q&As and ask me anythings and some comments that maybe have happened in previous videos throughout the week. So yeah, for tonight we're gonna jump into the Blazers consoles. So for tonight we've just said hello to Hugo, and but yeah, we'll check in to the Howls and Growls again on the Wednesday show as well, and other shows during the week, so we'll come. So let's jump out of Howls and Growls then, because I'm keen to get out and go and take him out for a walk if he's awake now. That's a good sign, isn't it? Let's get out of here then. Howls and Growls. We'll check in again soon, don't worry. Yummy. And here we are back in our base camp, which again tonight has been the Magic Forest here with Sigma Prepper channel. I hope you've enjoyed tonight. It's been a pretty big one. It's been a great one. We've had Urban Harvesting win the Sigma Prepper quiz again. So well done, my man. Well deserved. And of course, as the channel continues to grow, there'll be some more and more prolific preppers coming along to take on the challenge of knocking Urban off the top spot. And we'll have a leaderboard, don't forget, that will track over time the success of different people. So your name will be written in stone forever and ever, amen. So yeah, got loads coming up. And again, don't forget, all sorts of business coming up during the week. So don't miss that, where we've got the tier report coming out again, usually on the Mondays. We'll have the tier report, so please give that some love if you happen to see the in your subscription feed on the Mondays. So you got that, and of course we've got the SHTF Intel from tonight that I'll be cutting out and uploading after, which is just a nice, easy shareable SHTF Intel report that you can just share on your social media a bit easier than a longer video. And of course just the odd SHTF Intel report if something happens, you know, that's critical. I'll be there to bring it to you straight away. So we've got all that coming up in a case. And of course, don't forget what's really important as well. Oh dear, got T-itis going on now. The other thing as well is, of course, really important is the first critical launch of the official Prepping 2022 SHTF Survival Scenarios show, going live every Wednesday, 11 PM UK time. Eastern time, it's going to be 6 PM for you and 8 AM in Sydney. So this is going to be Prepping 2022 SHTF Survival Scenarios. Don't miss it. There's so much to learn. This is going to be a monster. Don't miss it. And it's going to be every Wednesday from then on. And then every Thursday, of course, we've got the Sigma Prepper live show. So much coming up for you all. Really can't wait, and it's going to be awesome. So please stick with us. Make sure you subscribe. Please hit the like button on the way out. Thank you everyone for such amounts of love and happiness, which is what this show is all about, because the rest of the week is so gnarly. This is the time of the week where we get to not be gnarly, get together as the beautiful family we are, and just feel like we can get together and just remind ourselves that it's not always the end of the world and there's so much more in life. So, love, peace and progress to the pack.